All right, y'all. So, quick video, but here's the topic: best friend or boyfriend. You must choose one or the other. Now, I'm gonna start this conversation kind of running off what I was talking about before. How you must be focused in order to achieve something, because if you're not, you will not get the best result, and sometimes it will lead to catastrophic results, or it won't work out. You will fail in your goal. So in relationships, it is important that you are focused and that you are intentional. This whole idea of letting things flow and letting things um, be organic, quote unquote, organic. What this really means, especially when a man says it to you, is that he doesn't want accountability. Now, I was reading this book by this man called by this author called Tony Gaskins. I'm learning a lot from what I'm reading in his book. The book is called Make It Work. But basically, all right, we're gonna let the dogs stop barking. Basically, as men, when we don't want relationships, we will say, "Oh, I don't believe in labels," or "Oh, it's just the label," or "I don't believe in that." See, this is a man who doesn't actually care about your time, and he doesn't mind wasting your time and your body and your emotions and your money. This is a man who doesn't want to focus on you. He just wants to keep you around because it's convenient. Now, the difference would be a man who is intentional as he dates, and he makes sure that he's committed to a woman eventually, and that he eventually moves that relationship to marriage, because it's death do us part. That is the ultimate commitment, the ultimate sacrifice he can make. Now, getting back to the main topic: best friend or boyfriend, you must choose. This goes out to all the people, not just women, but men who are in these relationships with other women, or who are in relationships with the opposite sex, and it's just platonic. I'm not talking about, friends with benefits. I'm talking about the best friend zone type thing. See, I know a personal experience from this, because one of the last relationships I was in, there was another guy, and it wasn't like a love triangle per se, but it was, because it wasn't like she was cheating on me with another man. She was just confiding in another man. She was sharing her emotions with another man. She was sharing her dreams, her thoughts with another man. She was sharing her fears with another man. She was being, in reality, intimate with another man. So when I look back on it, I could see why she wasn't really taking me that seriously. Because in her heart, in reality, she wasn't. Because if she really was, then she would have acted on it. See, saying you love somebody is not the same as doing you love someone, or acting like you love someone, or putting in the work or the effort to do it. But in our in our culture of relationships nowadays, it is such a sad and pathetic state, to where we will accept any love wherever it comes, however it comes, no matter if it hits you upside the head with iron, or whether you get choked out, or whether you get ran through the mud, whether you get abused, dogged out, whether you get cheated on. We will accept any type of love. But in order to create it, you must have standards, you must have boundaries, you must have constrictions, you must have conditions, you must have dignity, you must have structure. That's how all of our world works. Everything you see, everything you see here, everything you benefit from, everything you use, everything, your whole day-to-day life benefits off of the structure called our reality. From reality to in all aspects, to what you're watching this video on, it's all off of structure. To the best cars, they have the most pristine structure. To your work environment, the best structure has the best work environment. To your relationships, okay, the best relationships have the best structure. They have the best environment. So how do we have structure in our relationships. We have it by understanding standards and holding fast to those. Because if you don't, the relationship will run amok. Now, one of these standards is being focused and being faithful. But now, being faithful means that you are intentional in how you interact with your other, and you're intentional with how you react or how you interact with others around you. So, I noticed in my last relationship that she was not necessarily faithful to me. And I don't mean this to condemn her, because I know she probably just didn't know. You know, I've forgiven her. I love her. Hope she's doing well right now. But what I mean is that she was not intentional about how she was faithful to me, because she had a best friend who was a dude. Now, this best friend who was a dude did everything for her. We would go to our house sometimes. We would go to his house sometimes to get aspirin, or just he would drive him to my house. He would drive her to my house sometimes. So it was like he was like the beck and call best friend. I know he was the emotional tampon. I know that when she had problems, she probably brought them to him. But at the very least, even if she didn't confide in him with everything, she confided in him with some things, and that's the problem. At the very least, she is intimate in word with another man. And I'm not talking about sexual intimacy. I'm talking about intimacy by expression, intimacy by sharing of thoughts and deep intents of the mind, which is therefore the heart. As men and women, it is meant for one man and one woman. And I know I'm gonna hear flack and from the people that are listening to me. Look, all your relationships have failed if you're not married, and your marriage might be failing right now. So at least have an open mind and stop being so closed-minded. Okay. So back to the topic. Boyfriend or best friend, choose one. And the reason why you must choose one is because of this. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. You cannot be 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on the grass. You cannot be scatterbrained. You have to have intent and structure with the way you are dealing with things, especially when it comes to your heart. So back to what I was reading in that book, he talks about how is it that we require the most in our business interactions? It's not, it can't, when you're dealing with something very, very expensive, you have to get far past just a handshake. It has to be contract. It has to be in writing. It needs to be recorded. It needs to be recorded at the county office. All these things are in place to make sure that you're protected. So how much more important than that of things of the heart? How much more important should you be about protecting your heart and guarding it? As the Bible says in Proverbs, guard your heart, because out of it flow the issues of life. Basically, if you don't guard your heart, you're going to be set up for attack, whether it's intentionally or not. So, getting back to being a best friend or boyfriend, you must choose. You cannot have a boyfriend and a best friend. You cannot have guy friends. Women and men are not meant to be that, because as I stated in previously, you're going to be socially intimate with one and sexually intimate with the other, romantic with one, your boyfriend, shooting the breeze, and confiding in your best friend, where you should be focusing all that energy towards that man. Because if he's really that man, you need to really find out. Now, if you do not, your relationship will suffer, because you will neglect the man who you're with. You will neglect the woman who you are with, because all that energy that you're putting on him or her, the best friend, you could be putting towards the other person. See, getting all close and getting all, borderline lovey-dovey with your best friend, whether it's a boy or a girl, any man or woman with a shred of respect for themselves will not allow that. It's not about jealousy. It's not about, being jealous or whatever. It's about principle alone. Because me where I'm at in my life, if I'm going to get into a relationship with somebody, I'm going to have the respect for them, not to even give them the idea that I could be emotionally cheating somewhere else. So I'm going to cut all female ties personally, because off of principle alone, this is just how you have to be. See? Structure. See? Guarding your heart. Not only am I guarding my heart, but I'm also guarding hers, because I'm being respectful to her time and the relationship she's putting in effort that I'm asking her to. See, this gets into love and how it's actually understood today and how it's wrong, because everybody's trying to find love, right? Which implies that it kind of plops on your lap, or that it just shows up. But love has to be created. Love has to be created in the truest sense of the word. You must cultivate it. You must toil. You must sow in order to reap love. If you're not doing that, and you don't have structure, and you got all these friends everywhere, that you're just calling friends, even though deep down they'd like to sleep with you, you can do that. Go ahead and keep failing how you've been, for all these times right now. So I'll probably just stop there. Take care. I'll catch you guys on the next video.